Hey guys, it's Paradise, and every once in a while a game drops that catches you completely off guard. Not just because it's loud or flashy, but because it's smart in its gameplay, style, and that it actually has something to say. Well, after Nordcurrent reached out for a sponsored video, I discovered Eriksholm The Stolen Dream is actually something special that people need to try, especially if you've been craving a gripping stealth adventure with amazing world building, engaging gameplay, and a story that is worth your time. So you're going to want to stick around and learn about this one. We'll start with what exactly is Eriksholm, because this could be the first time you're hearing about it. At its core, it's a narrative-driven, stealth game set in an amazingly crafted, early 1900s inspired Nordic city. This is an isometric game, so you will be playing from a bird's-eye perspective, sneaking through shadowy alleyways, dodging guards, solving puzzles while unraveling mysteries, and switching between different unique characters, each with their own abilities and ways to tackle the challenges of the chapter you're in. The game follows Hannah, a determined young woman trying to find her brother Herman, who went out to work and didn't return. The police show up and try to force Hannah to leave with them as they're searching for her brother, but not because he's missing. As the story progresses, the game goes from a personal mission to find her brother to something much bigger involving conspiracies, uprisings, and secrets that threaten the future of the city. The closest comparisons I could make would be if Shadow Tactics was mixed with Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons, with an emphasis on its narrative, interesting gameplay, and of course emotional storytelling. If you are wondering about platforms, the game is out now on Steam, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series X and S. Now here's the thing, and this actually surprised me given the amount of games we're always playing and trying on the channel. Eriksholm doesn't just feel like another indie game, it's genuinely something that stands out and feels special. It's developed by River End Games, a small 17-person team out of Sweden that's made up from some interesting vets from games like Little Nightmares, Mirror's Edge, and Unravel. I think this must be in part why the game feels so polished, because you can feel the experience of the developers. The game plays extremely smoothly, it performs flawlessly on PC, and looks-wise I love the aesthetics, it's immersive and stylized. There's always a few things I like to keep an eye out for in new games, which makes the difference between a game being alright and really good, and sometimes smaller made games can really struggle with pacing. But here it's fantastic. You have new mechanics that are introduced gradually but with good cadence, puzzles that get more complex over time, going from pretty easy to actually making you have to stop and think, and characters become more impactful both in the gameplay and story as you get further. It completely avoids the trap of front-loading everything exciting and then burning out really fast. Even though the narrative is the main force driving you forward and keeping you intrigued, the gameplay for a stealth game needs to be something that keeps you engaged and on your toes, and once again they hit those beats. You will, as you progress, need to stop and think, from using the shadows, different angles, characters, timings, the abilities of those characters, or the environment to get past guards and solve puzzles or find collectibles. So I have to give them credit for both the pacing, the gameplay, and the story. It's just been really good. Now let's talk a bit about the playable characters, because this is where the gameplay really opens up. You start with Hannah. She's quiet but capable, as she can crawl through vents to exit and enter buildings unseen. She can sneak in the shadows and around guards, plus she gets a blowpipe to shoot sleep darts for silent takedowns. So if there is a guard that is stationed but not moving, Hannah has her own tricks to get past them. And later on you get Alva. She can climb up or down pipes to get onto rooftop vantage points, and has a slingshot that can distract guards or even smash lights. This will grant shadows to new areas, which are vital for sneaking through and making new pathways. Overall, she's very useful, and after you get Alva, you can switch between characters, allowing for interesting synergies where you need to think about who needs to move where to progress smoothly. After this is another character who is very different in terms of gameplay to Hannah and Alva, but I won't spoil that for you, so I'll keep it a mystery. Basically, each chapter is split into multiple areas that you progress through, and they're kind of like a playground where you figure out the best way to move forwards, using cover, shadows, walls, birds, and more to pass by unseen. And later on, you then bounce between characters, finding more creative ways to move, distract, and slip past enemies. It sort of reminds me how good games used to make you think before you go in, not just react to the situation. So with things like shadows that actually cloak you, flashlights that will instantly expose you, birds that make noise to distract guards, and different surfaces that make different levels of noise to draw attention. There's a lot of fun to be had figuring everything out. It's satisfying, tense, and rewarding when it all clicks together. And one of Eriksholm's strongest aspects is its world building. The world feels thoughtfully made with collectibles and notes scattered around, plus there are voice-acted reactions to these collectibles and voice acting just generally throughout, from the characters to the guards. It feels immersive, and with the collectible rewards for exploring, it does add replayability if that is your thing. As you progress, each new area introduces new tricks like interactable cranes to create cover on conveyor belts as you try to sneak past the guards, different sections where only certain characters can pass, so you need to stagger your approach, or using the lighting in the environment that you sometimes need to smash in order to give you cover to reach a vital vantage point to sleep dart an enemy guard. The world itself actually becomes part of the puzzle in this sense, and it really makes you look around as you play because these things are just melded into the world. I really love seeing a smaller team punch above their weight when it comes to developing games, and River End Games have really built something cohesive and polished here with a good story. The voice acting is strong, the mechanics build naturally, and the story goes to places you wouldn't really expect. So they haven't made the game into a bloated slog, but instead it's focused and is a memorable experience because of that. So if you're someone who values gameplay that respects your time, this is 100% a game that you want on your radar. The game is out on Steam, PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S, so if isometric stealth sounds like something you enjoy, I highly suggest giving it a try, as I was really pleasantly surprised by this one. To me, Eriksholm The Stolen Dream is a showcase of how to do narrative stealth the right way. If this helps you out or got you curious, drop a like below and share it with someone who loves discovering these kind of hidden indie gems, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Here at Arix Gaming, we're two friends who love to play games. You have me, Paradise, as well as 26.
Our goal is to keep the videos as concise as possible by cutting out any of the fluff and focusing on what really matters with high quality videos.
So make sure you're subscribed down below for more videos on your favorite games coming very, very soon.